Hi, welcome to the show. Later on, we'll be looking at disgraced peer Jeffrey Archer's first day as a free man after serving 2 years behind bars for perjury. But the highlight of today's show is undoubtedly the Terminator himself, Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. We've just got back from talking to Arnie, who at 55, nearly 56, is in quite unbelievable physical shape, and he needs to be.
I don't really concentrate on the pressure. I only concentrate on the fantastic. I let somebody else worry about the pressure.
Desire is irrelevant. I am a machine.
I'm crazy, but not that crazy.
Very quick last question.
Terminator
no,
4?
hang on. Are you buying the London?
It sounds like my wife and me. You know, everyone is trying to get a word in.
All right, you asked the Terminator.
Good take. I love it.
Thanks, Arnie. He fills a lot of room, doesn't he? Not much space left in the room, and Arnie's in there with you.
He really is.
Anyway, you can hear Arnie's verdict on his latest outing in Terminator 3 a little bit later in his first UK interview. Also coming up, one of the most extraordinary Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, before we see TV's Adam Hart Davis literally turning himself into the Invisible Man, it's incredible. A reminder that later we'll be watching Arnold Schwarzenegger turn himself into a machine in Terminator 3. Arnie talks to me and Judy about the sheer slog and grind of getting himself fit for the movie at the age of 55.
And what... Hi, welcome back. You've still got 10 minutes or so to get through to You Say We Pay, because first of all, Rich and I meet the Terminator.
Yep, Arnie, by the way, he hates being called Arnie, gave us his very first full-length interview here in the UK today after flying in to promote Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. We met him earlier this afternoon, and the guy, we both think, we have to say, looked fantastic. Only last year, Schwarzenegger appeared uncharacteristically out of condition after he had a road accident. But now, months of spending a punishing 5 hours a day in the gym to get fit for the movie has paid off in spades. But before we hear him talking about that, let's take a look at T3.
The life you know, all the stuff you take for granted, it's not gonna last. Imagine a world of permanent darkness, where machines control man's destiny. Imagine you were the only one who could stop it. But before you do, something terrible has to happen.
All military systems have been infected.
This can't be happening.
John Connor was here. Where is he?
Are you going to kill me?
No. My mission is to protect you.
Oh, God. She's coming. TX, can't you find a way to destroy her?
Unlikely. I'm an obsolete design.
Well, the first thing to say to you is that Terminator 3 was not a disappointment. It's fantastic.
Well,
it's
thank you.
really good film, and I didn't think that you'd enjoy it.
Because I'm not a natural fan. I think, like a lot of women, I'm not a natural fan of action hero-type movies, but I was gripped, absolutely gripped. I love the psychological angles, and I love your sense of humour in it, which I wasn't expecting.
Well, thank you. Well, there's a very important aspect of the film, because the trick is, even though it's a machine that I'm playing, but you have to put a little bit a human spin on it, and especially some comic relief. That's the key thing, because you know people are so tense in the movie, and then when you do something funny, which is not like I'm trying to do something funny as the Terminator, but the circumstances are such that it becomes a funny scene. Then people really laugh and they have a good time with the whole thing.
But I love the whole catchphrase thing. Obviously, I mean, you know, I'll be back and hasta la vista. But in this one, it seemed to be, get off.
Right.
Get out.
Yeah, get out, exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It was just
well, it's
so
like,
funny.
but that's the characteristic of the Terminator. Is first of all, he doesn't talk that much. You know, he's very short commands because he doesn't believe in dialogue. He just believes in action. It's like all the talk is a waste. The way he feels, it's like doing things. It's like let's not talk about it. Let's do it, and that's what he's about.
It's like when you take over the fire engine, and you just simply say, "I'll drive."
I drive exactly. The fire
Suck them all out.
engine.
Great. And obviously your physical appearance was remarkable. I mean, you're in your mid-50s, and I know that you had to work out a phenomenal amount to get into the condition you were in, but you looked like you did in Terminator 1, and I'm not just saying that, you looked extraordinary.
Right, well, thank you very much. What was challenging was not just to get it back into that kind of shape, but I had a motorcycle accident like 4 months before we started shooting Terminator, where I broke 6 ribs. So of course for a month and a half I couldn't touch anything because it was so painful, the whole thing. And it was during the practice of a stunt. You know, the idea was to try out some of the scenes that are in a movie because it was coming up right in the beginning of the filming. And so they dropped, instead of an object behind my motorcycle, in front of me while I was driving 40 miles an hour. So I flipped with the bike over this thing, and it just wiped out completely. So those things happen, of course. So what I did was I put the program together after I came back with physical therapy, and then I put a program together as if I would train for the Mr. Universe contest or Mr. Olympia. I trained 3-4 hours a day. I stayed on a very strict diet, and within a 3 months period, I came around and I got back into the kind of shape that so we could film that scene.
Because you've said in other interviews that what you just didn't want people to come and watch the film and snigger and laugh and say, hey, he's put a bit of weight on, he's lost the muscle.
Exactly. Plus, it takes you out of the film if it's supposed to be the same Terminator from the same mold. Everything is the same, like in all the 3 movies. Then the body has to look the same, like in the first and the second one. So
but the broken ribs notwithstanding, it must be much harder as you get older. I mean, I know that as I'm getting older. Everything is much more hard work. Even sit-ups, you know. It takes
well, but it is hard. But I mean, at the same time, I was amazed how the body responds, because the muscle cells are like the fat cells. When you were once fat, then the fat, no matter how much you lose weight, as soon as you eat a little sugar or little sweets, it comes right back, because they remember. The same is with the muscle cells. If they, even though they were now down when I started again with the heavier training, but they responded and they came right back, and the body almost feels like, wow, it's like when I was 35, it comes right back. It feels round again and pumped. It feels good and all that.
But you'd had 2 heart operations, hadn't you? So you must have had to take things easy after that.
Well, really, yeah, you're right. I had 2. It's kind of like 2 within 24 hours, because the one that they failed, so they did right away the second one. And but you know, I was like 5 days later after that I was out of the hospital, and then 6 weeks later I was on a big promotion tour for Batman and Robin. So it's amazing the kind of things they do now in medicine. So I mean, you come right back. I feel better now than I've ever done.
Still, you must be as strong as an ox to kind of work out like that when, you know, because I know what operations are like, and they really do deplete your energy levels.
Oh, no, absolutely. I just had shoulder surgery 4 months ago, and my shoulder still is not the same. I mean, it's because from the Terminator film, my shoulder got such a punishment. I mean, it went through so much aggravation and this and that I couldn't even lift my arm anymore. And then finally I had to get the surgery. So you're right, it's tough. But I mean, through therapy and the right training and the will of the mind is the key thing.
Well, I suspect that's almost unique to you. You do have, you say that sometimes you're capable of living in denial through pain, through training, and everything. You just don't think about it.
I just don't want to deal with it. And it's just like, let someone else worry about that. I'm just worried about the next step.
Yeah, and the stunts, they're not computerized, are they? I mean, they're for real.
You have to do the stunts, no matter what they talk about, the computerization and the visual effects and all this stuff. That all enhances the stunts. But I mean, you have to do the stunts.
The core of
you
the
have
stunt
to
is the real
hang
action.
on a crane hook, and you get dragged around. You bang into things, and all this goes through the building. At least you don't have to go through the whole building, because you can do that with a dummy hanging on a hook. But you have to go through the first wall of glass, so they see your face going into the glass and all this stuff. So what happened there was, for instance, that there was a supportive beam that they were supposed to take out, so that we can crash through this glass, and it's a breakaway glass and all this. And of course, they forgot to take the beam out. So I smack into this beam with 20 miles an hour, and I peel off this whole thing. So that's the funny thing about these movies, that you have to really watch for the accidents, because the things go wrong all the time. There is human failure, that, you know, you hold the casket with one hand, and an explosion goes off right on your finger, and it would have ripped my finger off if I wouldn't have had leather gloves. So it's things like that with action movies that's what you have to watch out for.
Let's talk a bit about how the world treats you. I mean, we saw pictures of you in the papers today. You were at Silverstone yesterday.
Right, exactly.
You were a guest of honour and you were shown around. That wasn't you running down the track, was it?
Did you see that?
No, I didn't put on a skirt, no. Or kilt, what do you call it?
Yeah,
Kilt,
kilt,
exactly,
yeah.
No, I'm not that crazy. I'm crazy, but not that crazy.
Did you see that?
Yeah, of course, yes. And it was like, it was amazing, you know. It's like you said, what went into this guy's mind? You know, those cars are too fast, you know, they wipe you out. So, but I mean, I had a terrific time there.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fantastic to go into the grid where the cars are getting ready to take off from a dead stop, you know, bang, I mean, it's 900 horsepower they take off, you know, they go up to 1,700 RPMs and all this, it's 17,000 RPMs. It's extraordinary of what kind of machines they are.
Would you fancy trying that yourself?
It will be fun. I wouldn't race because, you know, I think it's crazy when you have 4 kids to go into it, because those are dangerous things to do. And these guys are so skilled. I mean, what they do with those cars, the way they move them around and all this. But I had the chance to stand right there when they were literally like 2 feet away. They were like zipping by. I was inside the grid when they were driving by. It was really a fantastic experience.
So that's what I meant, really. I mean, you're fated wherever you go, aren't you? I mean, you're known across the world. Everybody would recognise you at 100 yards. And wherever you go, you are treated as a VIP. You know, you're fated. Is that a pressure, or is that just fantastic all the time?
Well, again, I don't really concentrate on the pressure. I only concentrate on the fantastic. I let somebody else worry about the pressure. But I mean, I love it because you have to understand that if you're willing to expand and to experience different things, I mean, when you are a celebrity or when you have movies that people really enjoy and when they see your enthusiasm, they bring you in and they invite you. So it's great to do all this stuff, yes.
2 questions to end on. You always said that once Terminator 3 was up and running, you'd announce whether or not you were going to run for Governor of California.
Right.
Is that coming quite soon then? Have you made that decision yet, or are you about to?
No, my wife and I are talking about the whole thing, and so I think within the next 2 weeks or so we'll be making up my mind, yeah.
So you're going to bide your time at that. So about 2 weeks then. 2 weeks and you'll be ready to say.
Well, in the next few weeks, it also depends so much of what happens in California politically and all that stuff. But I mean, you know, it's a decision we do together. That's you know, as I always said, that in the old days when I was by myself, it was one thing to say, okay, I'm going to be a bodybuilding champion, and or I'm going to go into acting and all this. But you know, when you have a family, you make those decisions together. Yeah.
And
very quick last question.
Terminator 4?
Hang on. Are you buying the London?
It sounds like my wife and me. You know, everyone is trying to get a word in.
All right, you asked the Terminator 4
Terminator
question.
4. I mean, will there be one?
Yeah, but if the fans, you know, at the end of the year, we would know if the movie has been as successful as the second one or more successful. And if so, then it's a clear signal by the fans that they want to see more of Terminator. Then we will do another Terminator. Right now, I'm very excited because everywhere it opens up is #1. And so we are really ecstatic about the success.
Good. Well, congratulations on the film. My last question was, is it true you're buying a London taxi, a black cab?
That's correct.
Is that true?
Absolutely. I always loved the old taxis. I just have to figure out if the seat can be moved back in the front, because I mean it gets very tight in the front with that wall behind it.
And you'll drive that in America? You'll drive that
I would drive it. Yes.
Fantastic.
As a matter of fact, while I drive, I can pick up some people and make some extra money. Why not?
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you very much.
It's a great pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
How surreal would that be, seeing Terminator 3 in a black cab?
Weird.
I'll drive.
Yeah. Get out.
Get
I love
in.
that. I really enjoyed the film, actually. It's very, very